then I'll show it around again. I try to fix this in your mind. Now this is a little tricky though, that there's no corresponding image in the atlas.
Somebody just fall, because I love when people fall.
No.
You're horrible.
Okay, so now here's the question. Did you see this?
Yes.
Okay, so now here's the question. What kind of section? Yes, it's horizontal. And how do you know that?
You can see lateral, and anterior and posterior, but not inferior to superior.
Correct. Now, which way on this section is anterior? Now, but don't answer until everyone has looked again. Which way is anterior? Toward me or away from me?
Away.
It is away from me. And then how do you know that?
I always know because it gets more narrow.
I just figured you would hold it that way.
Okay, now before I say something further, I'll identify this.
Longitudinal fissure.
Yeah, the longitudinal fissure. Okay, now, what is this light-colored stuff in there?
Centrum semiovalli.
The centrum semiovalli. See, centrum semiovalli. And what is the relative altitude of this section in the brain?
Superior.
Now, how do you know that?
You can see the sulci and gyri on it.
Yeah, and also very little centrum semiovalli.
Oh.
Now, don't identify this right away. First, let everyone see. I want you to
You didn't get the memo.
look over here.
Heard it afterwards.
What is that?
Are we on the right page, Billy?
Central sulcus.
Yeah, the central sulcus.
Central sulcus.
This is the
We don't
central.
go high enough in the book.
Oh,
That's
okay.
right. There's no corresponding image, so you just have to photograph this using neurological,
Flash.
holographic imaging. Now, something about this, these two central sulci, says that way is anterior. And just note the following. I mentioned this before. The central sulcus, it goes from posteromedial and superior to anterolateral and inferior. So it's actually running obliquely. So this end is more posteromedial. See that? That end is anterolateral. So that means that way is anterior. You see, this end is posteromedial. See that?
They're going like this.
Charles Whitman.
That end is anterolateral. Yes, it's running obliquely this way on the top of the brain, then it slants downward obliquely as well. So that says that, yeah, it is. That way is, almost no one knows this. You can buy collections of images called clip art that show gyri and sulci. And in all the clip art that I've seen, this is shown in a coronal plane, So it's running in a coronal plane of section, and it's wrong. You can spend hundreds of dollars on a collection of clip art, and many of the brain images show things incorrectly. It's a matter of visualizing, what the brain is actually like. So, note how that runs from superior and posteromedial to inferior and anterolateral. Now, pay attention to this. Now, if this is the central sulcus, what is this? Don't answer right away. Don't answer right away. What is this?
Precentral gyrus.
Correct. The precentral gyrus. And don't answer right away though. What is that? Okay, so what's this?
Precentral sulcus,
Correct.
precentral gyrus.
Yes.
Gyrus sulcus.
Now what is that?
Post gyrus.
Post-central gyrus.
Yeah, post-central gyrus, but try to resist the urge to answer immediately.
Okay.
The post-central gyrus. And then what is that?
Post-central sulcus.
This one. What's this?
Can I answer?
Yeah, I can answer now.
Post central sulcus.
Correct. Okay. So now, what?
Only took me 3 semesters to learn that.
Think about this one carefully. What is this once again?
Central.
Yeah, the central sulcus. Now, what is this? Now, just wait a moment on this one. Don't still. Wait 1 moment.
This is third.
Yes. What is that?
No, it's
No.
the loopy one.
The first word begins with a P.
Pars
Pars regularis.
Well, there's no pars regularis.
Triangularis.
There's no, not at this altitude.
Pars
Percularis.
It can't be at this altitude because this is very high. It's near the top of the brain. The pars percularis and the pars orbitalis and the pars triangularis are all inferior to this. So they're that way. The slice is upside down. So now, this is the central sulcus. The first word in the name of this, after the, begins with an A, and the second word with an R. And then the next words are of and the, and then the next word begins with a C.
Now you lost me. I didn't remember that.
The AR of something something.
Let's play Hangman.
AS.
Anterior ramus of the central
AS.
Anterior.
No, not anterior, but because it's AS. AS.
Oh, ascending ramus of the central sulcus.
Not the central sulcus, but it's the ascending ramus of
Anterior.
No, it begins with C.
CI.
Cingulate.
That's right. The ascending ramus of the cingulate sulcus. And now, how do we know that this is the ascending ramus of the cingulate sulcus?
He told us.
And the narrowing down of the whole diagram.
This flips the way we use the ascending ramus of the cingulate sulcus in Bio 9. So what was the topographic significance of the ascending ramus of the cingulate sulcus in Bio 9?
Wasted my money at Suffolk. Can't help you.
One sulcus forward, or anterior from that is the central sulcus. If you're having trouble finding the central sulcus, you can look at the ascending ramus of the cingulate sulcus on the medial surface in a medial hemisection, and go. And if the ascending ramus of the cingulate sulcus makes a 90-degree angle with the rest of the sulcus, then you go one sulcus forward from that, and you're in the central sulcus. If it makes like an obtuse, like a 140-degree angle, then this comes out behind the post-central sulcus. So 2 sulci forward is the central sulcus. But now you can do that in reverse. In a section like this, the central sulcus, I think, is more obvious than this. So you know that one back is the ascending ramus of the cingulate sulcus. So it sort of turns what we use the ascending ramus of the cingulate sulcus for in Bio 9 on its head. Looking at the central sulcus and then figuring out what that is because of its relationship to the central sulcus. So that's what that is. It's the ascending ramus of the cingulate sulcus. And in 90% of brains, it's one sulcus behind the central sulcus. Or in other words, the central sulcus is one sulcus anterior to that. Okay. Now, of course, it can't be the pars triangularis, the pars percularis, or the pars orbitalis, or anything like that, because those are more inferior. This is a horizontal section. You can't see from superior to inferior. You can only see from anterior to posterior. But not. So all of those things are in some lower section. Okay, so now, what is that?
Anterior gyri.
Anterior frontal.
Well, the first word after the begins with an S.
Superior frontal gyrus.
Correct, the superior frontal gyrus.
I was close.
Now, what does that make that indentation over there?
Superior frontal sulcus.
Correct, the superior frontal sulcus. And then what does that make this? So this is a little bit of it.
White matter.
Middle
Correct,
frontal gyrus.
correct. That's what it is. Okay, so this is a very interesting section. And this is one that is not in the atlas. So if you're photographing it and you want to disperse, reproductions of this image, you can do that.
You
Or
are
can-
YouTube.
Or you can make a drawing of this. I don't want this on YouTube.
No, we just share it with us.
It's just for
Yes.
in-house use. Don't put it on YouTube.
Make you famous.
No, it's just for
By
us.
the way, there's a myology presentation by me that somebody put up on YouTube. Let me know what the address of that one is, because I think I'm the only one who doesn't know where that is or how to search for my own presentation on YouTube. They put that up without my permission, and permission. There's no recall now. But I'd like to be able to look at that as well. I think I'm maybe the only one who hasn't seen it. I want to see what that looks like.
I don't use YouTube.
So that's Bio 9 relevant. That's a particular myology presentation. So let's go to, let's see, we will go to this one. Now, leaving size aside, what is the relationship of this to the one we were just looking at?
Inferior.
Yeah, how do you know that? Not using size as a criteria.
More white?
More centrium,
Yeah, more centrum semiovalle, and also notice that the central sulcus doesn't extend as far internally, because this is, on the flip side of this is the very top of the hemisphere. So because of
That one's actually upside down, the other one.
yeah, that's right. Because of the shape of the hemisphere, because on this, all you see on this side
Okay.
is Piamata, you see over there.
Well, that'll show
So I had to leave the Piamata on. You can't see the sulci and the gyri so well. I have to keep the Piamata on for